What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. I heard there is a must-read Ice Barrier card being revealed here, and I can't wait to get into it. I assume this is for the structure deck that was voted on, but I'm Market Man, so before we get into a live reaction, the first thing I did was pull up the tabs for Ice Barriers, and holy heck, I don't know if it's been like this, but DeLorean is at $45 over 30 versus its market price. You also have just the medium range dual terminal stuff going haywire. $17 for General Grunod. You have medium kind of around where it's been at, but almost out of quantities. You have Spellbreaker at 15. Ice Barriers have always been these cards that are like almost there. They're almost good enough, and we're outshined obviously by their boss monsters in Trishula and Brionic. Let's see if that continues to be the case or if they get enablers. So let's go ahead to go through the live reaction scene as it were, and get into this one. So Ice Barrier of Frozen Prison reveals. Broken extra deck dragons come in threes, oh boy. Oh boy, really? It's like that. Alright, we've got Trishula, Sub-Zero Dragon of the Ice Barrier, a Water Dragon Synchro effect. He's in a level 11, 2700/2000, sounds familiar. 1 tuner plus 2 plus non-tuner monsters, so you still have to commit 3 into this card. You can only use this card's name's second effect once per turn. When this card is synchro summoned, you can banish up to 3 cards your opponent controls. That's non-targeting, right? You can banish up to 3 cards. So on summon, this deals with 3 things on the field if it's not negated. If this just comes in uninterrupted, you're not met with Imperm Veiler, something that's already established on the board, but you have to commit 3 cards to this, it will take out 3 cards for you in non-targeting banish removal fashion. Wow, that's pretty good. Second effect, if this synchro summon card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, a lot of negation destroys, you can special summon 1 Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier from your extra deck or graveyard, and if you do, its attack becomes 3,300. That's 1,100 per head. Then the current attack of any face-up monster your opponent controls becomes half. Also, their effects are negated. Any face-up monster your opponent controls. Well, let me get this right. Then the current attack of any. So you're not just picking one, I think. Would that be all, or are you just picking one? The wording's a little weird here, but either way, that's absurd. It special summons the Trishula. The wording is synchro summon for Trishula, surely, right? Yeah, when this card is synchro summoned, you can. So it doesn't look like that special summon is going to be treated as a synchro summon, but if they negate this card, it self-replaces itself with another body on board that was bigger than what it was, have something else, negates something else effects. That's kind of a double whammy that does help take care of a lot of things. I already see something that's like Gungnir in the next part. Alright, we got Mirror Master of the Ice Barrier. I assume that that looks, you know, Gungnir-ish. Water Spellcaster effect, level 4, 1700/1000. You can only use this card's second and third effects once per turn each. While you control another Ice Barrier monster, your opponent cannot tribute summon. This is what a lot of the Ice Barriers are like. They're just these random floodgates that all come together, but never feel like they do enough. Let's see if the second effect helps. Oh, it has 3. Why not? You can discard 1 card, special summon an Ice Barrier tuner from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters the rest of the turn except water monsters. What an interesting typing lock. So, a discard becomes summon any, specifically a tuner. You can still go water, which is Halqifibrax, right? Okay, but what's Halqifibrax gonna bring out? More Ice Barrier tuners. Okay, this is in a weird place. I'm not crazy, right? Halqifibrax is water. I'm not crazy, right? And so you're water locked, but you get a tuner. If you would activate an Ice Barrier monster's effect by sending a card or cards from your hand to the graveyard or discarding, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead of one of those cards. Huh. So wouldn't that be, you can discard a card, but this says sending cards. If you would activate by sending, not discarding. That's kind of interesting wording too. Or discarding. Okay. So it kind of also later fulfills other effects as a resource after you get it off the field, and it seems like this might be the route they're going. Huh. Oh, that's a cute little guy. Oh, what do you do? Frost Spirit of the Ice Barrier, a water sea serpent tuner effect. Level 1, that's a dangerous level, 1 for 1. 400/200. He's also a tuner, so he gets summoned off of her. You can only use the card's second name effect once per turn. While you control another Ice Barrier monster, monsters your opponent control lose 500 attack and defense. Again, kind of that weenie, weird effect that Ice Barriers have. During your main phase, you can send one level 3 or lower Ice Barrier monster from your deck to the graveyard, so Foolish Burial it. And if you do, this card's level becomes the sent monster's level until the end of this turn. So he just flexes into whatever level he wants. He gives you a Foolish Burial. Seems like some of these effects for future monsters, since we only have 3 now, will have good graveyard effects as well to send. We'll see if they reach into the level 3s for that. But overall, these 3 cards together, let's think about it for a structure deck. This is an absurd generic boss monster that could sell a set by itself. Like Konami of old, I would be scared of them like making a Pendulum Evolution set and putting this in it on the cover just to sell it, but I think they've been pretty good lately. We shouldn't be scared. I think we'll get the Ice Barrier structure deck. Maybe I have too much trust in modern Konami, but that's how I feel. I don't think this will be split away from a structure. This is one of the next big generic boss monsters in general, though. There's no type blocking. There's no, like, cut-off restrictions. He self-replaces, so you have to decide how you're going to fit him into the extra, and if you're willing to give the space to the Trishula after as well, which, with how you're playing this, yes, I think you would, because if the negation destroys him, like an on-field, like, Herald or Boral Sword or something, then he takes out another negation on top. It's a single play that does so freaking much. But we're in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's like you've got to get through the established board. Turn 1, regular Trishula does more if you're going first. Regular Trishula rips something out of the hand. Whereas this takes care of field presence and does not do something for going first player. But going second in Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been way stronger lately. Alright, I like this guy a lot. Enough criticizing him and tearing him up. It's an amazing generic boss monster that plays through negation and helps going second decks. That's kind of my assessment. This is a resource tool they've needed that also looks like it's going to have further interactions with the cards that they reveal. I would hope they continue with the themality. And then also is a starter enabler in order to get something out of your deck and go up your lines for combos, and also has the weird floodgate. They kept the feeling of Ice Barriers. They haven't completely broken them. It looks like it's pretty good, and let me just make sure I'm not insane. First, we're gonna check prices after. I just make sure. I remember the Gizmek Fox is good against this. Yes, it's water. I'm not crazy. Okay, so that's not a third mistake in a row when doing reveals, right? When it comes to the Ice Barrier stuff, there's a lot of kind of underestimated things when it comes to the cards in here. And of course, you have the ability to Toad commonly with the Cryomancer stuff. You have a Rhoda for everything in Medallions, so they don't need that. It's a deck that is like almost there. Oh, I realized I'm on the org screen still. My bad. So Halqifibrax is water is what we've confirmed. You have a Rhoda, and you have a ton of different underestimated cards that are getting price spikes that people are thinking about. And when it comes to Cryomancer, this is a level 2 that helps you kind of go Toad in the old school Ice Barrier decks. So you're restricted to water. You can still Xyz, right? You're not restricted to Synchro at that point. That is also kind of cool. All right, guys, what do you guys think of the reveals that are happening here? I'm pretty excited. I think this is a good first look at the deck. Again, going second options is weird for something that's so weenie floodgatey. You have options to play with, though. I wonder what's going to happen. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed these late night reactions to what's popping up. A ton of news lately, just all over the place. Fabled, and now this. It's so cool to continue to see all this legacy support, really, and them going back in.